it was kind of surreal, not expected, and it was just like, okay, wow, 100K. Now, where do we go from here?
Hello everyone. My name is Pranay Prem and I am from Maisa Magazine. And we have the beautiful Kritika Avasti joining me for this interview. First of all, let me congratulate on your latest web series, Standard. It was an amazing watch.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
You're welcome. So let's start off. We all know you from your Instagram feed and your YouTube channel. But we would really like to know more about you, where you're from, and where did you grow up?
So I'm born and brought up in Delhi, and I did my schooling and my college from here. And then I moved to Bombay in 2015.
Well, the rest is history, right?
I mean, yeah, everything just took off. I was just guided. I had not planned anything. It just happened. It just so happened that I became an actor from not being an actor. Just like one fine day, I just started acting, just like that.
Anyways, you're doing a fabulous job. Kudos.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You recently completed 100K followers on Instagram. Congrats, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
How was the journey to 100K?
It was, I actually don't exactly remember it. I hit 100K. As I said, one day I was just an actor. So one day I was just doing my job, being an actor, doing videos, doing web shows. And then one day I just hit 100K and I was like, oh God, it's 100K. So it was kind of surreal, not expected. And it was just like, okay, wow, 100K. Now, where do we go from here?
Well, you're a very popular figure on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure you will reach 200K, 300K very, very soon.
Hopefully soon. Yeah, I just hit 130K yesterday, 130K. So hoping to hit bigger numbers soon.
Instagram is so much like the stock market. Numbers rule your success. Apart from the numbers or insights, what was that one time when you felt like, okay, this is going good and I'm here to stay?
I think when I did my first web show called Girl in the City, season 1, which is on Disney. So after that, organizing me. Before that, I was doing a lot of ads, television commercials. So that was my first, I would say, first time that I felt like, oh, I've done something. And then after that, it was Engineering Girls and the success of engineering. It's on Netflix now. So that really jumped up the numbers for me on Instagram because people recognize me as Maggu there. And then after that, then there was Tandav. I kept getting a lot of DMs. Oh, I think we spotted you in Tandav. Is that you? So they were taking screenshots, snapshots of me from the show and then sending me that, is this you? So that was one moment. And at the moment, there's another web series which has come out. It's on All Right. It's a mini series. It's called Couple Goals. So that's also going really well. So hopefully after that, the numbers should increase more.
When it comes to being an influencer or especially one on Instagram, collaborations with other influencers are a great way to engage with an audience. What process goes behind the whole influencer collaboration scenario?
Well, I would say you attract your own tribe. So like-minded influencers or people who you feel that you can connect with them personally and with their content. Because we all love watching two or more influencers together collaborating. It just creates a lot of excitement. Like who wouldn't want their favorite actors or public figures coming together? Yeah, exactly. So a lot goes. I feel it's all about a connection. Whoever you feel connected to, you probably approach them that, hey, come on, let's make something together. And when you are on a project working together as actors or as influencers, if you already met on a project, then it creates, even more this certain kind of energy where you want to collaborate with them and you want to create content which brings smile on people's face, or that people can connect to it. So it's like it's all about connection.
Okay, cool. Nice. Next, how do you plan the content? Do you plan your day around the content, or is it a more natural approach?
I would say it's both for me. Some days when I'm just relaxing and like I have a chill day, then my way of thinking or approaching a content, it's very new and fresh because I'm relaxed. So so mostly on the free days I get these vague weird ideas or funny ideas that this is what I should make now, or this reel will do really cool. Or for example, if I'm working around a brand, like a brand wants me to present the brand in a specific way, so I always go for something which is quirky and weird and different. So firstly I create a picture or a video in my head ki ye aise dikhna chahiye, I should be doing this, I should be dressed up like this. Then after that I write it down on my phone or on a piece of paper. Usually people do it the other way around. So first I imagine it, first I see myself doing it, then I write it down, and then I bring about any changes ki maybe this will look better this way or that way. And then I obviously draft an email, it goes to the brand, if there are any changes that they want, they send in their inputs. And then once it's approved, then I get in my camera team, my this and that, and then we shoot. And then there's a whole edit shebang. Ye yahan jana hai, is pe ye piece of music hona hai. And then it goes to the brand, and once it's approved, it's on my feed. But that's for mostly the branded content. When I'm doing non-branded content, then it's all me. It depends on me, what I feel like or what I think looks better or looks more striking.
With growing influence comes a lot of added responsibility. Are you hesitant now when it comes to what will be more likable or accepted by the audience?
I would say not hesitant, but I have to be very careful with what I'm putting on my page. Also, as an influencer, there's a certain responsibility upon our shoulders because we could influence people with whatever we might say or put up on our social media. So I feel we all should be very responsible and careful. I mean, all said and done, fun is kept aside, jokes and all. We should try not to give a wrong message or not influence the society or people around us in a negative way. I feel the influence should always be positive. So yes, I am careful with what I'm putting on social media, and I also have to keep in mind that what's trending, what people are liking, because not always what I find funny, people might not find it funny or might not find it relatable all the time. So yes, I have to be very careful. I have to think through it, and I've noticed also something which I found funny or feel that it works for me has not always worked on reels. So I have couple of reels which have not done so well in comparison to the reels who which I thought will be like okayish, but they did better than what I thought would work. So I at the end of the day, it's a hit or a miss. So, but we have to keep doing our part.
Well, Kritika, you're definitely giving more and more hits than misses. So I don't think you have anything to worry about.
Touch wood.
I know you'll get this question a lot, but still, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Well, I would say taking a holiday abroad somewhere, enjoying a nice drink, sunbathing, relaxing, just joking. I definitely want to see myself successful, happy, and really, really enjoying what I'm doing, even if it's just living a day at a time.
Next up, let's talk about OTT platforms. They are the most talked about platform in the current scenario. But in the end, when films and cinemas finally open up, what do you think will be the state of OTT platforms? Will there be a decline, or will it be still popular, and will it face a huge threat from cinemas?
It has created a lot of impact, cinemas shutting down because of the pandemic. And at the same time, it has created a huge market for OTTs. I would say, um, people will go back to watching movies in the cinema hall. But at the same time, I think OTT is here to stay. And because OTT has been very experimental in terms of their content, and there people don't think of numbers and box office. ये box office पे कैसा लगेगा? OTT gives you this liberty to create a story like never before. While like in films, people always worry कि इससे return आएगा नहीं आएगा, क्या आएगा, कितने numbers आएंगे, blockbuster होगा या नहीं. OTT is more about let's create something which has not been created.
Yeah.
There it's like let's experiment, like shows like Mirzapur, shows like Sacred Games.
Yeah.
So it's created a whole new market. So I think OTT is here to stay, and cinema will run parallelly. It has its own market, and people will go back to watching films on the big screen. But OTT is definitely here to stay.
Yeah.
Regardless if the viewership does not remain as much as it is right now, but it is going to be there.
Lastly, Maisa Magazine's ambition is to provide a platform for underrated Indian artists of all kinds to be recognized for their talent. What advice do you have for the ones who are sitting with their 100th audition script, feeling dejected and unrecognized?
I would say 3 words: never give up. Never, 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 never give up. If it's your 1000th audition or your 2000th audition, it doesn't matter. Approach it with all the more conviction, all the more courage and strength. Keep putting in it, keep putting in it. It will come back to you. But the mantra for success is never give up.
Thank you, Kritika, so much for spending your valuable time with us for this interview.
Thank you so much, Pranay. I'm glad that you invited me here, and I hope that through this interview, few or more can be inspired and feel uplifted and be able to realize and manifest their dreams as aspiring actors, or not even for non-actors. I hope everyone can take something back from this interview.
Yeah. It was really fun and interactive, and I hope we can do this again very, very soon.
Thank you so much.